There's something about Le Mans that makes it feel different from almost every other racetrack. Maybe it's the history, maybe it's the insane speeds, or maybe it's simply the fact that a single lap takes you more than 13 kilometers through completely different types of corners and sections. Whatever it is, I never get tired of driving here. This lap is actually from the final lap of a race I was doing in iracing. There wasn't much traffic around me at this point, so I thought this would be a good opportunity just to show you what a lap around Le Mans actually feels like. We are starting the lap coming through the first part of the circuit, and what I really like about Le Mans is that it doesn't immediately throw you into a crazy sequence of corners. It gradually builds up with these slower sections where you are focused on getting the car rotated properly before the track suddenly opens up and gives you a massive straight. And that's basically the personality of Le Mans. Slow corners followed by ridiculous amounts of speed, and then you have to do it all over again. As we head on to the first long straight, you can really appreciate just how different this circuit is. You are just watching the speed climb, the engine is screaming, the car is getting lighter at high speed, and you are just waiting for the next braking zone to appear. And eventually, there it is. This is one of the things that makes Le Mans so challenging, because the braking zones comes after such long periods of full throttle that you have to completely reset your brain. One moment you are doing 300 kilometers an hour, and a few seconds later you are trying to place the car perfectly through a relatively slow corner. It's almost like the track keeps changing its mind about what it wants from you. One minute it's asking you to be completely committed and flat out, and the next it's asking you to be incredibly precise with your braking and steering. That's something you really start to appreciate when you spend an entire race driving here. We are heading towards the famous Mulsanne straight now, which is probably the section most people think about when they hear the word Le Mans. And it's easy to see why, because once you get onto this straight, you just keep accelerating with almost nothing to interrupt you. This is also where the track gives you one of those rare moments where you can actually relax a little. Then comes the braking zone. You have to go from maximum speed to getting the car ready for the corner in just a few seconds, and everything happens incredibly quickly. It's a huge contrast, and I think that contrast is what makes this track so enjoyable, because Le Mans isn't just about going fast, it's about managing the transition between going incredibly fast and suddenly having to be incredibly precise. After Mulsanne, we start moving into some of the more technical sections of the track. The corners become tighter, you are using more of the track, and you are paying much more attention to your positioning. And then we start heading toward Indianapolis. This is one of those corners that looks fairly simple until you actually try to carry speed through it, because the car can get unsettled pretty easily and you really have to be careful about how much curb you use. Then almost immediately you are back onto another straight and building speed again. That constant change is what gives the lap so much character, because every section asks something completely different from the car and the driver. And now we are getting to my favorite part, the Porsche curves. This is probably the section I enjoy the most on the entire circuit, because this is where you really get to feel the speed of the car. The first turn comes up, you get the car positioned, turn in and get back onto the throttle as quickly as you can. Almost immediately you are thinking about the next corner, because there really isn't much time to relax through this entire section. When you get it right, the car just flows from one corner to the next. After the Porsche curves, we start making our way toward the final part of the lap. By this point, you have already covered most of the circuit and gone through the fast sections, the heavy braking zones, the technical corners and the massive straights. We get through the final corners, get back onto the throttle and head toward the start-finish straight. And this is where you really appreciate the scale of this place, because you have been driving for several minutes and you are finally coming back to where you started. One lap here isn't just a lap around a racetrack. It genuinely feels like you have gone somewhere. That's probably why Le Mans is one of those tracks I can keep coming back to. So that was one lap around Le Mans in iRacing, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed driving it.